In rugby football, there is no tougher position on the field than prop forward. Hard men who pack down in the scrums that are known as the engine room. So how long can one man last in the front row? Well, Howard Gibbs has met the all-time champ. He's been steaming away in the engine room for 42 years and more than 800 grade games. And he'll be backing up again this week at the tender age of 60.
Oh, can he get in there? 4! You run it in, Ken. You set the pace.
Thursday night, most of us were warm and cosy at home. But Ken Williams is doing what he's done for over 40 years, thumping leather and mixing it with other hard men, most half his age.
I do hope that I inspire someone to say, well, Christ, if he can do it at 60, I can do it at 25 or 30.
That's right, 60. And tonight's training leads up to his 815th grade game. Is that some sort of world record? The Australian Rugby Union says yes. One of his coaches, Rod Smith, says a lot more than that.
Kenny Williams, yeah, genuinely, he is a legend in his own time. I mean, 800 and something games is unheard of, and the speed of the game in that today, I mean, really, probably won't be repeated again.
Come on, Ken, stop slacking off.
If he's like that at 60, you wonder what he must have been like at 26 when he played first grade for the first time.
I remember that quite vividly because it was in 1963 and it was on Chatswood Oval and there was about 6 inches of mud on the ground, about 4 inches of water on top of that. And I enjoyed playing in the mud, so I think we beat Gordon on that occasion, so it was a great day.
On his 60th birthday about a month ago, we played fourth grade. We were short in third, so we had to turn around and run back on in third grade. So Ken celebrated his 60th with 2 games prop forward, so not a bad effort for a bloke.
So you haven't got the heart to tell him he's too old for this?
I'm not going. Never.
Alex Palmer's played more than 170 games alongside Ken. He reckons his experience is unmatched.
He's been close to being prop when these young blokes turn up, but prop's a pretty specialised position and it's hard to sort of oust Ken from a specialist position.
Well, he's just known. He's Mr. Rugby as far as a player goes, and run on with guys, and to see their parents standing on the sideline cheering us on and saying, hey, I remember playing with Ken. You know, it's like, it just goes on from generation to generation.
Ken's team, Briars fourth grade, has impressed with their consistency this season. In fact, they've lost every game so far. Today promises to be another torrid encounter. No wonder their supporters are trying to ring the full-time bell.
What do you reckon about all the old blokes in the team, though?
I reckon it's fantastic. I really do. I wish more would take it up.
The crowds at Ken's game may not be as big as they were in his first grade days, but they seem to appreciate all the efforts of the old blokes.
Perhaps it's getting a bit old, but still, if he's enjoying it and he's fit and he's well, I think it's fantastic.
Ken's mug once graced the cover of Rugby News. Those heady days are long gone. What drives him now is not the glory, it's passing back a lifetime's worth of skills.
It doesn't matter how long you play this game or any game, you can always learn. You never know it all, so you just keep learning and making mistakes.
Probably what's important is the opposition do come to Ken after games and say, we'd really learned something from you today, Ken. Thanks very much.
The final score, a 26-0 trouncing. Tough. It's always a great way to spend a Saturday arvo.
I think a lot of people drop out of all sports too early. They get to 25 and they say, oh, this is too hard, or I'll get on the grog, or I'll get a girlfriend or whatever, and I think it doesn't matter whether it's male or female. They should all be playing sport to enjoy life more.
There's always next week.
Always next week, yeah.
Jeff Harvey was a great prop forward too. Howard Gibbs there with Ken Williams, Mr. Rugby. That's our program tonight. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow night. Bye now.
In their 60s, playing football every weekend is just a dim memory. But not for Ken Williams. The former police prosecutor has racked up 900 club games with no sign of hanging up the boots.
No respect, no respect.
He's the oldest club player still in boots. Ken Williams is 64.
There's the leg dance, right?
This was his 900th game.
Over 100,000 fans brought to life.
Well, not not quite that many, but it was a big day as Ken and his Briars fourth took on Hawkesbury Valley.
Little gap here for Williams.
The old front rower is not as fast as he was.
The old knee doesn't let me run around too much. I'm by miles the slowest person there.
Great drive by Williams.
Still hard, though.
No, I think most of the other teams all respect me for an old bloke.
He started in 1955. This was with Drummoyne in 66.
I'm the skinny one on the end here.
He played first grade for a while. Thinks playing with his grandson Ben is tougher.
Playing with him. He doesn't play to the rules.
On the field, Ken's 45 years older than some of them. Doesn't need a mouth guard.
Bit hard to have a mouth guard when you've got no teeth in.
He's not sure how much longer he'll play, but the Briars won Ken's 900th. We flogged them, he said.
Through the traffic. 6 to go. Williams!
Paul Marshall, 7.
So, Matt Dunning, watch out.
Old rivalries restored at the House of Pain in Carisbrooke as New Zealand take on Australia in a Tri-Nations and Bledisloe Cup clash. And Jonah Lomu mark his 50th cap in style.
64-year-old Ken Williams was playing the game long before the likes of Lomu were even born, and he's still doing it to this day.
And from one of the oldest players to the youngest, these schoolboys from Singapore may become the next major rugby playing power to come out of Asia. In today's game, professional players need to be at their physical peak. Hours are spent in the gym building up their bodies in preparation for the battle ahead. In the same week that the Wallabies were getting ready for their clash against New Zealand, a true veteran of the Aussie game was being honoured for a remarkable lifetime achievement.
3, 2, 1, and smile.
Ken Williams turned out for his home side Briars to make his 900th grade game appearance. This remarkable story began back in 1955 when he started playing. In that season, Ken broke his leg so badly that doctors told him he would never play again. Well, 46 seasons and 894 games later, at the age of 64, he has more than proved those doctors wrong. At Rothwell Park, players and supporters all stood as one to celebrate an incredible achievement. Ken plays prop for Briars, lining up alongside youngsters still in their prime, others for whom Ken can only act as the ultimate role model. His remarkable career has not surprisingly taken its toll on certain parts of his body. He no longer has any cartilage left in his right knee. And don't just think Ken is there just to make up the numbers. Admittedly, he's not as quick down the pitch as he used to be. Who would be with no cartilage in their knee? But when he's up with play, he gives it his all. Ken carries on, he says, for the love of the game. Once it gets into your blood, you just can't get it out. Ken's special day was marked with a 39-17 win over Hawkesbury Valley, prompting him to exclaim how he wished the media would come more often. Well, Ken, we may, when you turn out for your 1000th game. Dodgy knees allowing, of course.
He was 57 years of age. I mean, it's quite remarkable.
He's still playing now?
He's still playing for Briars. A wonderful man, Kenny Williams, and I think you know him, Bill. Is that an aim for you, 900 games?
Mate, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that, but I mean, you see guys like Jason Leonard still running around over in England, and these guys who can seem to play for long periods of time. If you look after yourself, then hopefully I've got a few more years in me yet.
He's a Briar, so they say. Try to go to